The vacant Birmingham City manager role looks like it's going to be filled a week after Wayne Rooney's departure. There were talks earlier in the week of Steve Cooper, and he was looking quite likely. However, it now looks like it's going to be Tony Mowbray who is taking over. I, for one, am very happy with this appointment. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm expecting it on Monday to kind of be announced. What would your thoughts be on this? I want to try and give a bit of context to it, so I'm going to look at his managerial record and how he really plays football and see if this is going to suit the team. Make sure to like and subscribe, put your thoughts down below, and let's get into the analysis on Mowbray's career. First of all, I'm glad that the owners don't see this as a rescue mission. It's not a fight for survival. I don't see it that way, and I don't think people should. We were up in the playoffs when John Eustace was sacked. The players are capable at this level. We're probably overperforming slightly, but we do have a mid-table championship side, a good bunch of players. Yes, we've been a bit unlucky with injuries, but any manager worth their salt will be able to get us to around a mid-table finish with these players. So I'm glad that they didn't go down the route of a Neil Warnock or a Sam Allardyce, because it's just not needed. We still want to play towards a style of football, we still want to be exciting, and there's plenty of room left in this season. You know, we're only really halfway through. There's plenty of time to turn our fortunes around and get us towards those mid-table spots. Now, Tony Mowbray would be a great appointment. A lot of his previous clubs have really enjoyed having him as a manager, and I have seen some of them saying they'd take him back in a heartbeat any day of the week because he is well respected, he plays good football, and I'm hoping that he can instill that sort of culture at Blues. Now, looking at 3 of his tenures, we'll start off with West Brom. West Brom were relegated from the Premier League, then he managed to get them into the playoffs. In that first season, they lost out in the final to Derby. The second season, they won the title and were promoted to the Premier League. There was a massive overhaul in that summer between the playoff final and the promotion season, and he got the club playing great football, got them up winning the league, and really did a good job at making them bounce back into the Premier League. Then in the Premier League, he couldn't manage to survive, but it is always difficult to survive in the Premier League, especially with the gap getting bigger every year financially. So didn't manage it, but a lot of West Brom fans showed their support on the last day of that season, all wearing Tony Mowbray masks, and they, really still believe that he is a good manager and he is pretty fond in their hearts. So they really respect the job he did for them, and they really like him as a manager. Moving down the timeline, more recently, took over at Blackburn, came in late in a championship season and they were already really struggling. He did turn their form around, but it wasn't enough to survive in the division. However, first season in League One, bounces straight back up and then really stabilises the club, getting them to finish just outside the playoffs towards the end of his tenure there. He did then leave the club, and then we see him pop up at Sunderland more recently. A very, very good spell there. They came up from League One. Alex Neil didn't do a very good job. Tony Mowbray comes in the first season, steers them all the way to a 6th place finish in their first season back in the Championship. They did lose out in the semi-finals of the playoffs, but again, finishing 6th with a team that's just came up is a very, very good job, and he gave them a chance. He made them play great attacking football. One thing about Mowbray, the ball is always on the floor. It's not hoofball. He's not a footballing dinosaur. He gets teams playing great attacking one-touch football, and I think we've got some players that could suit this. His win record at those 3 clubs was pretty similar through all of them, even in the Premier League season at West Brom. His West Brom tenure was 40%, Blackburn 40%, and Sunderland 40%. Obviously not bang on, but came to about 40-41. So very, very good indeed. Everywhere he's been, he's won more games than he's lost, other than at Coventry, where it was that he won the same as he lost. So he doesn't lose more than he wins. He is a very good manager at this level. He's got great experience and he'll get us playing. Now, as for how I see him fitting in at Blues, I think he will really use a lot of young players. That's what he did at Sunderland. Such a young squad, got them playing good football. He believes in youth. He will use the likes of George Hall when he's actually fit. If Jordan James stays, I think he will have a great time under Mowbray. Same for Stansfield. And then you've got the likes of Ramel Donovan. I think it's a very exciting prospect for Donovan to be coached by Mowbray, because he will put a lot of faith in him, he will play him a lot, and I think he could excel under a boss like Tony Mowbray. We also have some players, not necessarily youth, but they weren't really used well under Rooney. One of the key ones being Koji Miyoshi. I know a lot of people have this idea he might be a bit lightweight for the Championship, and I can see it. Maybe the physicality's not there, but I think with his creativity in a Mowbray side, it will really bring out his game and it will play to his strengths. The main player I'm looking forward to seeing is Bakuna, because for me he's been a consistent performer over the last few seasons, always gives his all. He gets a lot of stick, but he's the only player who can create, who can score, he can do a bit of everything, and I'm really looking forward to see how he does, because he did well under Rooney and not many players did. He was an absolute stable in that Eustace hand. He always picked in that team, did a brilliant job. Will he carry on with his form? I've got no doubts that he will. So this appointment looks very, very strong. It's a manager that knows the Championship inside and out, and he's very good at getting the best out of what he's got. But he's working with owners that will back him. Maybe not in January unless we sell, but in the summer FFP will be in our favour again, and I'm sure that there'll be money to spend. So how do you think this appointment is going to work? Are you happy with it if it does happen? I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Looks pretty solid. How do you think it will go down? I think he will do a very good job this season, getting us back towards mid-table, and then next season, I mean, the potential looks to be there for a very exciting year. I hope you've enjoyed this short analysis of how Mowbray's got on in his career, and I hope you leave your comments down below as to how you think this plays out, Blues fans, because other fans of other clubs seem to really like the idea of this. I know Sunderland have been saying they'd happily have him back now, so interesting one. Hope that it happens, and I'm very happy if this appointment does go through. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more Blues related content, and let's get the Tony Mowbray Revel'Ution started.